What's up and welcome to the Fantasy League Show. My name is Mitch. This is Chris to the left of me here, and we're going to be going through the top junglers for your Fantasy League. Week 6 LCS, Week 8 LEC. Let's get right into it. So Chris, let's talk about some junglers. And actually, I want to start out, if you don't mind, with a fun fact. Chris actually... he jungles, and his average KDA, it's actually, it kills 0. He averages 17 deaths. 3 of them are to jungle camps and no assists. That's how he averages.
Oh yeah, and guys, don't forget, I also average a 0 word score.
That's true. That one's true. All right, let's talk about someone who doesn't do that. That was a good transition. I thought that was okay. Let's go with Broxa, Chris. We got him in the B tier at 11 and 9 for my and your rankings respectively.
So okay, so Broxa overall, he is going against Blabber, scary as hell. Golden Guardians iconic, and Evil Geniuses Fence Scarum. So the thing overall is Broxa and CLG look a lot better, and they're improving actually. So the thing is, these games might be closer than anyone thinks. And the big thing you guys got to be aware of is Golden Guardians is truly the worst team in the league, and they're dropping like 31 points on average to the enemy jungler.
Yeah.
Then when you look at players like C9, C9 had a very bad last week. I believe they went 1-2, and I believe it was not good from what I was watching. So my thing is, C9 might be experimenting a little bit much now because they've already locked playoffs. However, they could definitely still have some struggles and make this a longer game where CLG can end up getting some extra kills and points in that. I don't see CLG winning this game, but I do see them being able to put up a fight. And EG has also been looking like they've been struggling. It looks like Jizuke and Senskaran haven't been having the best of games. And if you're actually looking overall at the amount of points they're giving up 24.5 points. That's a decent amount considering when you're looking at 24.5, 31.4, and like 18.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be averaging out to around like 50 points probably around there, maybe a little less, but overall that's fine. And I personally also believe in that Broxa will be getting more points than that just because his team is like very skirmishy and they have very long games. I actually wouldn't be surprised if he has a very like high deviation of points overall per game. But overall, definitely a player that you might want to start if you don't have any better junglers, and if you have no one for your flex, definitely someone to consider.
And speaking of, good points, Chris. Speaking of better junglers, if you have Blabber, we don't need to tell you why you're starting him. He actually has a good week too. CLG, Dig, and Immortals. I know he had like a super dud week this past week, but you're starting him. He's in the S tier, as he probably always will be for the rest of everyone's lives. One might assume you're starting him. We don't have to talk about him anymore. Let's go into someone who you're also starting. In the A tier, we have Santorin, Team Liquid Santorin, and I think he kind of fluctuates between S and A, just at least from my and Chris's standards. This week is Dig, EG, and 100 Thieves actually all top 5 teams, at least rest of season. Might be kind of tough. With that said, I think that Team Liquid is going to pull out a win on at least 2 of these. It's NA, so like it's always a coin flip. No one actually knows who's going to win. Santorin has been, a strong jungler this entire season. The thing that I really like about Santorin specifically, and I'll reference our favorite stat of all time, standard deviation. It's 12 points, meaning that like you'll find games where he kind of just like shows up and plays on the winning team, and then you'll find games where he goes like 305 and 0 on Hecarim. They're not afraid to give him all of the kills and just let him run the entire game. That's why you love Santorin. You know you're starting him. If you've had him, you're happy with him. Don't be so afraid. Depending on how Team Liquid has been as of late, you're starting with some confidence. Let's go into Spica, the man who was level 3 by the time Blabber was level 6 in the C9 TSM game, but Spica still won that game. How did that physically happen? I have no idea. Chris, I love giving you the TSM guys. You're the biggest TSM.
Oh man, TSM. Oh man. All right.
What tier is he in? He's in A.
So
Yeah, he's in A.
So TSM Spica is at our
It's
A
pretty
tier.
good.
Overall, I think that he is improving, and like I've said before, I am not too hot on this team personally because I just don't like their players, but the stats don't lie. And when you look at stuff like
Neither does the record.
last week, where I was just looking at his actual points just from last week, guys. He scored around 63.66 points from last week's game, and he was playing against C9. Usually, you don't think you'd score that high during that week. And when you have a week where it's literally evil geniuses, immortals, and golden guardians, I think it's gonna repeat itself, if not even go higher.
It's a
So
good start.
definitely a player that you should be definitely starting in your jungle spot or your flex spot.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, and you might not have had too much confidence. Like, he's not the most exciting jungler to start, but like, this is a good week, and his points have been showing up. All right, let's do Jose Diodo, FlyQuest jungler, and this is a team that I can never, ever gauge. We have him in the B tier. I should really look before I.
He's in the C.
Oh, he's in C. Get him out of here. We never talk about the C guys, but he made it onto my screen somehow. Yeah, we have him ranked at like 10 and 15. All right, we don't have to talk about him. You're not starting him. I'll say he is playing Golden Guardians, maybe 100 Thieves and Dig. FlyQuest could pull a scrappy win, but that's like the best you'll get there. Let's get into the next guy. I'm sorry, Jose Diodo. You got demoted in real time, so that's a shame. That honestly breaks my heart. Okay, let's go into Dardoch. Now this is actually your favorite player, and I say that every time we talk about junglers. We know you love him.
All right, I'm gonna calm down the hype train just for right now.
Okay.
But
That's fine.
play Dardoch.
Okay. Oh.
Let's be real here. All right, Dardoch is playing TL. TL does not look good. They look struggling. They beat C9 last week.
Good. Like they a top team. They don't look good for TL.
They're not consistent. TL is right now a very good team that's very inconsistent.
Yes.
Where I would argue that Dignitas is better in terms of consistency overall, because even the games that they lose, they're usually losing to like the C9s of the league. And fun fact, I believe Dignitas is 2L versus TSM. So
yeah,
C9 they're losing to, and they're beating TSM, which is I think the second or third best team in the league right now.
They could beat these top teams.
Yeah, I overall think that this is not that tough a matchup. I think it's going to be very close, but overall, they play C9 this week. A little scary, but at the same time, Dignitas looks very good. And I think a big thing that when you were looking at this is Dardoch versus Blabber is actually such an incredible matchup in NA. Because I would argue that these are probably two of literally the most aggressive jungle playstyle teams in our league. So overall, when you're gonna see a very, very scrappy game, I think, with C9, where I don't think C9 is gonna also cleanly close this one out, because I think overall that Aphromoo and Dardoch have just been smurfing on people, and overall is allowing people like Soligo and Fate God to actually really shine, especially Neo, dude. Like Neo, he dropped 110 points last week.
Yeah.
You're just talking about it.
Jump in here and say this: when C9 loses, they're giving up on average, and this is per game, 40 points to the jungle position. Granted, they don't lose often, but when they do, oh my god, you want the guy on the other team. If Dig keeps playing like Dig, like you ride that hot hand, this could actually be, a pretty decent week.
And their last matchup in FlyQuest versus Jose Diodo, dude, FlyQuest is a team that just rolls over and dies. But they like to be bloody, so
you're starting them.
Kudos.
Let's go to Sven Skaren. He's in the B tier. I can't find him. Oh wait, all right. How about this? Now Sven Skaren is getting promoted in real time. I had him in C. He's in B. Please don't tell me I'm bringing him back down. We have him at 14 and 11. We could at least talk to him a little bit. He's averaging 23 points on average per game. Average on average. He's playing TSM, TL, and COG. I say this every single time. If someone's playing COG, I don't care. Start them. Still kind of true. TSM and Team Liquid are pretty hard matchups. They don't give up a lot of points to the jungle position. Spica and Santorin are pretty good jungle threats. Sven Skaren could be a good threat of his own. I like Sven Skaren for like a flex consideration at best. I really wouldn't encourage you to start him in your jungle slot. But keep him in mind. His standard deviation is 13 points, meaning like EG really could just boom or bust. It's so hard to predict whether this team's actually going to win their games. So if you really want that edge, Svenskeren could be that guy. Other than that, nothing too exciting this week. Let's now talk about SK's Tinks, and I'll let you take this one, Chris.
So Tinks is a player that overall his team SK, they had a bad week last week, and it's really hard to judge them because they had like 2 really great weeks into this, and this week they're playing against Australis, G2,
Not great.
and Rogue.
Not great.
So they're playing the money point team. They're playing a team that you could score points on if you challenge them, and a team that is arguably the cleanest team in the league, except when they play G2.
Yeah.
So my argument overall is that this player overall is a good player, and like you can try to start him and just pray that G2 lets them get kills in this game, but definitely more towards the bottom of B tier. And even though he has Australis, which you always want to play people against Australis, overall I don't see Tinks doing as hot.
It's kind of
That's why that's why we have him towards the bottom of our B tier.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good point. G2 and Rogue are kind of scary. If there's ever a week to sit him, it might be this one. If he beats one of those teams, could be kind of a week, but just think about what are you willing to risk there? Do you really want to be the guy that starts Tinks against G2 and Rogue and it falls flat on your face? I'm not sure about that.
And guys, remember, this might be your last week of fantasy, so like, truly think about these decisions. These are hard-hitting things.
Yes, these are important decisions. But here's a guy. Inspired S tier. Wait, this week is so good. Excel, Fnatic, and by the way, I think Fnatic is going to turn it on this week. I think this is going to be a good week for Fnatic. Like, they're just going to come to. Just a little hot take. And SK. Excel, Fnatic, SK. You're starting Inspired. Rogue is probably likely to win all of these games, if not go 2 out of 3. There's no reason to bench Inspired. You already know he's been great. I have him in the S tier. Oh, you have him. We both got him at 3. No, that's great. That's really lovely. That's easy. You know you're playing Inspired. Let's go with someone who probably was sitting in like D tier up until this very week. This is probably the first time that I'm saying his name in a recording. Vitality Skeens. Oh my god. I'm so happy to give this one to you, Chris. By all means, tell me.
Alright. So, big thing for Vitality is it looks like they are actually starting to improve with the addition of Crown Shot into the roster. So overall, this team is definitely getting better. And this team this week has some good matchups, which is why we both actually have him at a reasonable. I think we both had him no matter what in B tier, just at different ends of B tier.
Yeah.
So overall, they have FC Shulk, Misfits Gaming, and Australis. What did we say before? Australis, you always want to play against them.
The money
Awesome.
queen.
They are a great team. FC Shulk, dude, I think they're on a 7 or 8 game losing streak.
Is that true?
It's a pretty bad turn of
is-
events for
This is a
for-
good week for Skeens.
so
FC Shock
definitely.
gives up 28 points. Same with the Strike. Yeah, they give up the same amount of points to the jungle
Yep.
position. Yeah, they give up
So-
a ton. Love this.
Yeah, so you want to be playing Vitality right now, and let us talk about my favorite team, Misfits Gaming, the bloodiest team ever. Well,
Well,
honestly,
you talk about that. I'm gonna see if Skeens is owned in some of my leagues. Keep going though.
yeah. No, but overall, Misfits Gaming is literally also bloody as hell. So you know for a fact that this man is going to score a lot of points this week. He's got the good matchups. He's playing against very, very high volatile players, and I think we're going to see some really good things out of Skeens this week.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, this is a good week. I really like this. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, I get this one. Our favorite team to talk about for now and ever. Oh my god, I can't believe it. We have Razork in A tier. Oh my god. Razork is in A tier. This team, hold on, my thing is not dragging. All right, there we go. All right, my Chrome didn't want me to put him in A tier. Razork's playing Fnatic, Vitality, Mad Lions. Vitality, like I said, probably turning it on. Who cares? Who cares? I don't even care who wins, Misfits or Vitality. They're all scoring points. It's just going to happen. This is the Misfits way. And it's also the Mad Lions way. And it's also the Fnatic way. Wait, this is like the best week of all time for Misfits. I'm looking at this right now. There's no way that this guy can go outside of A tier. Vitality, Mad Lions, and Fnatic. Like, all right, I'll say this. The thing that I'm kind of a little bit hesitant on is, like, for whatever reason, if Fnatic just goes, all right, guys, it's like the last week. Let's start really trying for real this time. And they, like, get into their playoff form. If they really, I mean, we don't really know what their player form looks like with this current iteration of Fnatic. I don't care. You're starting Razor. Start him. Full confidence. Full send. 15-point standard deviation. He's boom or bust. But this week we're going all boom, Chris.
We converted him, boys. We converted him.
Yeah, I'm big on Razor this week. It's a good week. I don't know what to say. Also, every time I see Elyoya and how high we have him ranked, we have him in the A tier. I get so sad because some guy in one of our like home leagues rejected one of my trades before Elyoya actually like performed. It was actually the week before that Kane week, if you remember, where he went like 704 and 0 as Kane. The guy didn't even look at my trade, but it should have happened and I would have been in a better spot. All right, how's Elyoya doing this week? 28 points average per game. That's nuts. That's so high. That's ridiculous. All right, what do we think, Chris? He's an A tier.
Dude, you're starting him.
You're starting.
He's playing against Astralis Misfits G2. You're telling me he's playing against the literal bloodiest teams in the league?
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah, sign us both up actually. Yeah, no, this is good. Yeah, this is a good start. This one's not contentious at all. Oh yeah, the next two are not so much fun. Whatever, who cares? Jankos, you're starting Jankos. It's gonna be a good week though. Doesn't matter. There's nothing that will ever get you to not start Jankos. I think he only scored like 45 or so points last week. Who cares? You're starting him. You know that. You know you're starting Jankos. And I am going to be saying this to myself because I have self-made in one of my most important leagues. I'm starting self-made. He's actually an A tier. This is going to be a good week. Chris, you have him at 7. I have him at 5. You want to talk a little bit, I guess, why you're closer towards B than maybe I am?
I'm a little worried about the rogue matchup. I will not lie. That is definitely the one thing that has a little concern for me.
Yeah.
But other than the rogue matchup, he has a great week. Like Misfits and FC Shulk, like, come on, dude. Those are gonna be the bloodiest games of all time. But a little worried about rogue. So I think a 7 is a perfect spot for him. Definitely someone that deserves to be an A tier. But you could see some little worries just in the rogue matchup.
Okay, self-made or Elyoya?
Dude, that's not even a question. Elyoya.
Okay, self-made. All right. Wow, that's wild just to hear. Like, think about where people drafted Elyoya, right? So late. Self-made probably went in like your 3rd round, 2nd round. All right, self-made or Dardoch? And I'm putting you on the spot because you don't have your. I'm sure you're scrolling through your Excel sheet right now.
Dart. Well, no, I'm actually not. I'm just thinking my opinion right now. My thought process is, guys. Honestly, I think I'm starting self-made, which is crazy for a Dardoch lover. Yeah, I think you're starting self-made.
Yeah, I am too. You go self-made. On this one. Cool. That just about rounds it up. And something we almost never acknowledge is the fact that C and D we just pre-fill. We don't really talk about them too much. It's sad to see Closer in there right now, but like we know how 100 Thieves has been doing. They're kind of figuring themselves out with their new mid lane situation. So that is what it is. I think we got a good tier list though. I like this one. There's a lot of fun junglers. Like jungler has been pretty fun to actually watch. I wonder. I'm gonna check. Quote me on this. I'm gonna check to see how jungle does compared to top, just in terms of average points, because I wonder if it's heavily in jungle's favor. Just looking at some of these big scores. All right, so that's that. That's jungle. You're starting these guys. They're going right. Chris, any closing thoughts?
I think we just nailed another one out of the park, Mitch.
We just nailed another one out of the park. Yeah, no. Okay. All right. What are they doing to that subscribe button, Chris?
Dude. Smash that subscribe button, guys.
What else should
you
they,
know,
should they nail it out of the park?
No, guys. Just smash that like button. Listen, because you are not getting good fantasy quality news anywhere else but here on the Fantasy League show.
Yeah.
And also, feel free to add us on Twitter with questions.
That's great. We don't plug socials enough. Yeah, we have a Twitter. It's always at the end of our videos. Twitter, Instagram. We're gonna start putting more stuff on there. We should post on Reddit more. Okay, let's talk about that some other time. But yeah, smash that subscribe button, that like button, comment, share it with your friends. Have your friends share it to their friends.
Or don't. You know, you gotta keep that fantasy knowledge to yourself. You know.
Okay, that's a good. Oh, we're kind of in a conundrum. That's a really good point. Okay, you know what you do? Share it with them and say like, look how like bad this tier list is. Just like.
Or
say,
you
like,
know,
it's so bad. Like, don't listen. Watch the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, but don't listen to their advice. You listen to our advice. You watching this right now.
or you can just share it after your week is you know, finished.
Huh?
Ooh,
Huh?
sneak attack right there.
That's a sneak. All right. We love you. Goodbye.